Good evening. Good evening. I'm here tonight not only as the governor of New Jersey, but also as Donald Trump's friend for the last 14 years. We are about to be led by not only a strong leader, but by a caring, genuine, and decent person. I'm proud to say that the voice of the people of our nation is being heard in this hall tonight, and those voices want Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. But everybody, this election is not just about Donald Trump. No, it's also about his Democratic opponent, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, in the past few weeks, we've seen the Justice Department refuse to prosecute her. Over the last 8 years, we've seen this administration refuse to hold her accountable for her dismal record as Secretary of State. So let's do something fun tonight. Tonight, as a former federal prosecutor, I welcome the opportunity to hold Hillary Rodham Clinton accountable for her performance and her character. Now, all right, we're getting there. Give me a few more minutes, we'll get there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to present the facts to you. You, tonight, sitting as a jury of her peers, both in this hall and in your living rooms around our nation. You see, since the Justice Department refuses to allow you to render a verdict, I'm going to present the case now on the facts against Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, she was America's chief diplomat. So let's look around the world at the violence and the danger today in every region that has been infected by her flawed judgment. But I'm going to be specific so that you can render your verdict tonight on the basis of the facts. Let's go to North Africa. She was the chief engineer of the disastrous overthrow of Gaddafi in Libya. Libya today, after Hillary Clinton's grand strategy, their economy's in ruins, there's death and violence on the streets, and ISIS is now dominating that country. So I'm going to ask you this. Hillary Clinton, as a failure for ruining Libya and creating a nest for terrorist activity by ISIS, answer me now, is she guilty or not guilty? In Nigeria, Hillary Clinton amazingly fought for 2 years to keep an al-Qaeda affiliate off of the terrorist watch list. Now, what happened because of this reckless action by the candidate who is the self-proclaimed champion of women all around the world? These al-Qaeda terrorists abducted hundreds of innocent young women 2 years ago. These schoolgirls are still missing today. And what was the solution from the Obama-Clinton team? A hashtag campaign. So now let's figure it out. Let's decide. Hillary Clinton, as an apologist for an al-Qaeda affiliate in Nigeria, resulting in the capture of innocent young women, is she guilty or not guilty? See, she fights for the wrong people. She never fights for us. She doesn't get the real threats that America faces. So now let's go to China. In China, Hillary Clinton praised the Chinese government for buying our debt to finance Barack Obama's bloated stimulus plan. She was so desperate for Chinese cash, she promised to oppose the Buy American provision in the stimulus bill in exchange for the cash to finance a huge expansion of federal government spending. So, Hillary Clinton, putting big government spending financed by the Chinese ahead of good-paying jobs for middle-class Americans, is she guilty or not guilty? Let's go to Syria. In Syria, imagine this. Imagine this. She called President Assad a reformer. She called Assad a different kind of leader. There's now 400,000 dead. Think about that. 400,000 dead at the hands of the man that Hillary defended. So we must ask this question. Hillary Clinton, as an awful judge of the character of a dictator and butcher in the Middle East, is she guilty or not guilty? Next in Iran, she launched the negotiations that brought about the worst nuclear deal in history. Let me be clear, America and the world are measurably less safe and less respected because of the Iran deal that Hillary helped cut, period. After she launched those negotiations, she became the biggest cheerleader for this agreement in the end. It's a deal that will lead to a nuclear Iran, an Israel that will be less safe and secure, and a much more dangerous Middle East. So let's ask it. Hillary Clinton, as an inept negotiator of the worst nuclear arms deal in American history, is she guilty or not guilty? Because see, we know exactly what 4 years of Hillary Clinton will bring. All the failures of the Obama years, but with less charm and more lies. Tonight, those of us in this hall and the people at home, it is our obligation to stop Hillary Clinton now and never let her get within 10 miles of the White House again. It is time to come together and make sure that Donald Trump is the next president of the United States. I am proud to be part of this team. Now let's go out and win this thing together. Let's go get them. Good night.
We are inside the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, the site of the 2016 Republican National Convention. Just a couple of days after this ends, they're going to start up the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia. The two political conventions are like the twin Super Bowls of partisan politics. Now, by the time you see this commentary, all the speeches will have been made up there. Those balloons will have dropped, and a whole lot of money will be spent. Over $70 million for the convention in Cleveland alone. That's a whole lot of money for what is basically a Republican infomercial and a summertime orgy of power trading. And the Democrats will spend another $70 million plus next week for their own self-serving production. Now, there was a time where we had to help pay for all of this hoopla. In 2012, for instance, taxpayers shelled out a little over $36 million for the Republican convention in Tampa and the Democratic convention in Charlotte. But in 2014, Congress did away with public financing of conventions, the idea being the two political parties can pay for their own two political parties. Now, taxpayers will still be on the hook for some of the security, spending over $50 million for security, both in Cleveland and in Philadelphia. But the good news is none of that money goes to the stage production, the rock bands, the balloons, or the party hats. It all seems reasonable until you ask the question, if the taxpayers aren't paying, who is? The answer, corporate America and a bunch of billionaires. That's right. The Democrats and the Republicans are now more beholden than ever before to corporate America. What's next? Naming rights? The ExxonMobil Republican National Convention or the Goldman Sachs Democratic National Convention. It's not that far-fetched. As more and more public financing moves out of the election process, more corporate money necessarily has to move in. And here's the worst part. Most of the money is raised by something called host committees. Now, they aren't technically political committees, so they don't have to adhere to federal regulations. This is a classic case of unintended consequences. Taxpayers were upset when they heard they were paying for conventions and demanded it stop. And as is often the case, the solution is worse than the problem. I'm Larry Mendte in Cleveland. Next week, I'll be doing my commentary at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. See you then.